I'm late for a lot of things. I was late to the Nintendo Switch and Breath of the Wild, only getting to experience those two in 2018. I was also late to playing Metaphor, which was my most anticipated game for around a year. And here I am, late to making the best games of 2024. Honestly, I have no excuse other than poor planning and scheduling, which you know by now. As you can see, in the last couple of years, I've been doing annual ranking videos of the best games released in the previous year. 2022 was actually kind of different since at the time, I barely played any 2022 games that actually came out in 2022. And also no music exported, so that video is kind of stinky. The 2023 ranking video was a huge improvement in my opinion, but I accidentally uploaded early and didn't realize the views would tank as a result. Now I'm hoping nothing bad will happen, so without further ado, ever since the announcement, I was incredibly excited for Metaphor ReFantazio, and I ended up not getting it at launch. I then bought it 2 months later in December, and I've barely played it ever since. It's not because Metaphor is bland or boring at all, it's because honestly, the prologue hasn't caught my attention at all. It's like the exact opposite of Persona 5, which is crazy. Persona 5's intro was insane and set the stage, but here I'm kind of struggling to get motivation. I will eventually get back to Metaphor, but at the moment there's other games I'm interested in. That's why it's here at number 10. It's like Sea of Stars back in the best games of 2023 video. I just hadn't played enough of it, though hopefully I'll like Metaphor ReFantazio more than Sea of Stars. Content Warning is an April Fool's game that's surprisingly good. It's a parody of Lethal Company, and if you didn't know what Lethal Company was, go play it right fucking now. That game is fucking incredible and is scary as hell. The only problem with it, not enough selfies. Content Warning is a nice game that I only touched 1 or 2 times. It's not bad, but it's clearly not the focus of the developers and was released for free on April Fool's, so obviously it was never supposed to be this huge live service game, and that's okay. It was fun to go through the one time, and I liked how silly the game was. It's honestly impressive just how many times Bethesda is able to port the first 2 Doom games. I honestly thought we were done with new possible ports back in 2019, but no! Bethesda somehow found a brand new way. This time, by combining the two, and that's genius. Both Doom and Doom 2 are incredibly similar to the point where a lot of people might not be able to tell the two apart other than seasoned fans. But you might be wondering, even by combining the two, how the hell can you reinvent Doom and Doom 2? Well, the answer lies in a brand new campaign called Legacy of Rust. Legacy of Rust is a brand new expansion created by Night Dive Studios, id Software, Machine Games, and fucking bullshit. This expansion is great, but it's also incredibly difficult. It's so hard to the point where I just got tired and had to put the game down. Like, I like a little bit of spice in my video games, but not to the point where I'm crying because I get killed fucking every 5 seconds. I recommend checking this game out, especially when it's on sale. This is cheating for obvious reasons, but also for obvious reasons, I don't care. This is my damn video. Back last year, Bandai Namco had an initiative to create and publish 3 free games onto Steam. The common link between the 3 would be that these 3 were created by brand new employees hired by Bandai Namco, and I love that. Boomer Road is a super cool platformer where you create your own path of the boomerang. Durango Wonko is kind of like Splatoon, but you're the only player, and instead of squids there are dogs, and oh man, I loved how poorly it ran on my Steam Deck. It was so much fun. And finally, There's Not a Lot, which has you playing as a robot. It's fine. Quite literally, the only reason why I subscribed to Apple Arcade was to play this, and after I beat this game, I never touched Apple Arcade ever again, and I never will. Puyo Puyo is a great puzzle series spanning multiple decades, rivaling Tetris. While it might not be that easy to pick up compared to something like Tetris, it's a whole lot harder to put it down. It's amazing for its combos, and Puzzle Pop is no different. If you ignore that, you might have to put this down forever if your subscription ends. And yeah, to this day, it's still exclusive to Apple Arcade, meaning that you are screwed if you ever want to play this on a gaming console, and that sucks. And then even though Puzzle Pop is great, there's not a lot it does differently, other than I would have to say that the 3D art style is charming as hell. It's something that I hope's come back in a mainline Puyo Puyo game. What I don't hope comes back is all the talking. Like, Jesus man, I didn't sign up for a cute ass lecture. Nintendo finally did it. They finally made a good Mario Party game in the Switch era, no forced motion controls, and it's not a remake. Super Mario Party Jamboree is fucking fantastic, and I love how good I am at it. This is the greatest multiplayer game that I played in 2024, and it's a game that I always put on whenever I have friends over because of just how easy it is to pick it up. I hope to play it more this year because man, it's incredible and I barely played it last year. It's a great evolution of what Super Mario Party was back in 2018, and I'm really excited to see how the series evolves further with the next entry whenever that arrives. One of the greatest surprises with one of Nintendo's 2023 Nintendo Directs was an announcement that a Nintendo series with the Wii and DS entry was getting a remake. Well, it wasn't that surprising considering that PRO leaked it, but it was surprising to see that it was Another Code. Another Code Recollection is a full-on remake of two memories and a journey into lost memories and molds both into one game that's pretty cool, and I covered it last year in a video that you should watch. While it's not the most well put together game and has pretty awful voice acting, I'd say it's a cool piece of Nintendo history that you should check out, and I actually really liked it. Recollection stories are pretty nice, they got a tear on me a couple of times. Though out of the two, I would have to say that 2 Memories is better purely because of D, but both of these entries are honestly pretty cool. Now all I'm hoping is that we get to see a brand new entry in the Another Code series that brings everything up to modern standards. It was with Sonic X Shadow Generations that I truly became a Sonic fan, as you can obviously tell here. One of my friends, A-Nash, gifted me a physical copy on the Switch, and it was here where I finally finished Sonic Generations. And it is an amazing leveler to the franchise and the games leading up beforehand. Time Eater can eat a dick though. With Sonic Generations finished, it was time for me to try out Shadow Generations. Oh my gosh, Shadow is so cool! What the hell? How is this running on the Switch and I can stop time? Shadow Generations is such a great game that while not a celebration of the franchise like Sonic Generations, is a celebration of Shadow the Hedgehog, and I could not have asked for a better game. This combined with Dark Beginnings proves to me that Sonic Team are dedicated, and I'm excited to head in Sonic's back catalog. Maybe I'll try Sonic Adventure soon so I can play Sonic Adventure 2, so then I can finally see when Shadow was introduced to the world. In the beginning of 2024, I played a game that would change me forever. It was a game that I was hesitant to try out. A game I never thought I could like. Picross E. This was the start of my Picross addiction, and now I have more than 120 hours across all the Picross games. This started as a joke, but I really like Picross too damn much. Somebody help me. Oh, and there was also 13 Sentinels Aegis Room with a story so great I doubt I'll ever experience anything ever again that great. And then somehow that led me to Unicorn Overlord, a game so great but in literally every other way that 13 Sentinels was great. So basically, play Unicorn Overlord. Despite its odd name, you have to play it. It's a game unlike any other. I played quite a few open world games before, and I've played quite a few strategy RPGs before, but what I've never played before is an open world strategy RPG on a level like this. Man, I need more developers to make games like this. It's incredible. I already made a video about Unicorn Overlord, so I won't go over everything, but here's what you need to know. Unicorn Overlord's battle system is so complicated, unique, and great. There's an incredible amount of strategy put into every decision in a way I've never seen before in any other game. I also adore just how Vanillaware handles tropes in here. It doesn't feel lazy, rather it feels cozy and makes Unicorn Overlord a modern day classic. Persona 3 Reload is a great game that made me truly love Persona 3 for the first time, but can't be on this list for a couple of reasons. First, it's a remake, and yes, Recollection is on this list. The issue is that despite how impressive Reload was as a remake and how it made me a fan of Persona 3, it regresses a lot in terms of atmosphere and identity. If it worked upon the original, then maybe it would be Game of the Year, and maybe Episode I guess would be good, but life ain't that easy. This was an indie game that I was not expecting to like at all. It's practically the fishing grip straight out of Animal Crossing, but expanded on a lot. It's a lot of fun to play with friends, but also one that I dropped rather quickly. Really good game, but not one that has a reason to come back to. Play Emio, the Famicom Detective Club on the Nintendo Switch. There is a demo available. You can take a loan out. You can steal a physical copy. You can pirate it. There's no excuse. Please play this game. Barely anyone I know talks about it, and it hurts. This series is something else, man. Out of nowhere, the first two entries got a remake from the ground up back in 2021, surprising everybody. Despite these remakes being super neat, I don't think anyone expected Nintendo to go back to the series and make a brand new entry. This would change in 2024, as we got a tweet asking us, who is Emio? And it was here where it was revealed just how illiterate the average Nintendo gamer is. Emio the Smiling Man in Famicom Detective Club is an incredibly important game to me. I've highlighted that over a few of my videos. I mean, I made a whole ass video just about it, but I've also mentioned it in my episode August video. Emio is just a game that feels heartbreaking just because of how these characters are written. They're tragic. Some are shitty, and some are extremely flawed, but it's a game that you have to approach with an extremely open mind. No spoilers, obviously, but I think what cements Emio as my game of the year is just how the antagonist is written. Obviously, you want to find him so we won't kill anybody, but I felt an immense amount of sadness the more I learned about this urban legend, and I felt sad in the ways people were affected by him. Most people will not have played Emio the Smiling Man, and that's heartbreaking as well. It's obvious to see why, because it's a visual novel, which holds back a lot of players and maybe even you. But if any of what I just said interests you, I really recommend that you give it a try at the very least. It can be slow, it can be frustrating, but the moment where you realize that frustration isn't always a bad thing will open a door of possibilities in terms of enjoying games. I used to really not like games that didn't respect my time. I thought at the very least that every game should be fun. As silly as it sounds, I now view that very sentiment as stupid, small-minded, and even anti-art in a way. The beauty of art comes from its identity, no matter if some parts are bad or ugly. Maybe it's me trying to run away from the criticisms that Emio is boring, but I truly do believe this, and it's helped me to enjoy Emio and so many other games. That's why Emio the Smiling Man Famicom Detective Club is my game of the year, and I hope that one day it might be yours too.